And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the PondCast. The PondCast episode 76. Sorry, 74. Your weekly dose of all things StarCraft. I'm, of course, VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing production team, I should say, by the amazing production team behind this, by the people in chats, and of course by all of our topics that we're going to be discussing as well. Welcome one and all. This week it's going to be a bit of a leaner show, I will say that. There's a little bit less going on in the realm of StarCraft. Still a lot of tournaments to discuss, of course, but when it comes to the announcements, there's a lot to get through, but maybe not the biggest of announcements this time. Here we go. Let us jump on in. First thing is first, we previously announced White Ruz's book that he was looking to publish that was crowdfunded. Well, the funding has concluded and the book is going to be going live. The crowdfunding was successful, so a big shout out to all those that did participate, that did contribute to the crowdfunding of White Ruz's autobiography, as it has been a success. So big shout out to all those that did take part. Again, we do, as we are quickly double checking here, but the Kickstarter has concluded, of course, and it will be coming out soon TM. It's already written, from my understanding. This is just to bring it to life, to publish, and to bring it to the people. It is going to be sold as well for those that didn't back. It is going to be sold for 29. It is going to be, I believe, sold at some point. So that's going to be available. So do keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, it's really exciting. I know that Wyra, he has a lot to tell. I know that we were really, or at least I was really impressed and really engrossed by his story during his interview. He did have a very, very in-depth interview not too long ago at the start of the year, or end of last year, which we did discuss here, and it was insanely in depth, talking about not just his esports career, but also talking about what has been happening in Ukraine, and also his endeavors in helping what has been happening in Ukraine as well, helping those that are local, of course, to himself, to the scene, to Ukraine itself. So yeah, it was really cool to hear from that, and I'm sure he has a lot to tell. So really exciting news regarding Wyra and regarding the upcoming book. Let's go. Let us go. So again, shout out to Wyra, shout out to all those that did contribute. Our next bit of news here that is coming up is the World of Warcraft Midnight Cross promotion. This is slightly StarCraft adjacent, as there is a StarCraft reward, but basically there's new, from my understanding, there is a new update. There is a new, there is a new expansion being released, World of Warcraft Midnight, and I say released. I believe it's going to be a part of one of the updates, 11.2.7, is going to be actually giving some rewards in other Blizzard games. So basically there's some cross promotion. Some cross promotions been going on. I feel like this has happened in the past as well, where you'd often get like the collector's edition of, say, I don't know, Cataclysm, and then you get like a Diablo pet, or you'd get like a StarCraft II portrait. I don't think they've done that sort of thing in a while, but that's essentially what's happening here. So there are going to be some rewards tied to the WoW expansion release, specifically to those that, of course, do purchase. Part of that is going to be some Overwatch related skins, some Hearthstone card backs, as well as some StarCraft II UI additions as well. Bearing in mind that, from my understanding, the console that's going to be provided to StarCraft II is also the same console that's provided through Warcraft 3 Reforged. So there are multiple ways to get this console. One of them is through this World of Warcraft Midnight release, but also through Warcraft 3 Reforged as well. So just bear that in mind. If you see the console and you're like, oh, it's a really cool Warcraft 3 console, and I want to get it, and you're thinking about maybe just getting the expansion for that, you can get it in a different way as well. So just bear that in mind, as it is not necessarily exclusive to the WoW expansion, which is a bit of a shame. That that's the case. And if I recall correctly, I believe the way this works, I think Midnight already released, but it's going to be tied to the patch that's releasing player housing. So player housing is going to be released. I believe once you enter your house, you get an achievement, and that achievement does unlock these rewards in the other games. So just a heads up. So again, slightly StarCraft adjacent, as we do have a console being released for us. Another bit of news, of course, we were always giving a shout out to Gemini when it comes to the Pylon Wall-Off guide that he does do every single season. Here we do have an Overlord Tower guide that has been released as well. So a big shout out to Ace Z73 on Reddit. But he has released a tower guide just showcasing where Overlords can be placed. So we have Gemini with the Wall-Off guide. We have, of course, Ace here with the Overlord guide as well. Now we need something for the Terrans. Now we need like a Wall-Off guide for Terran. I don't think the same thing. Maybe like a Sim City guide for Terrans, like based on like the layout of the main base. I don't know. I don't know. We need someone to step up.
Proxy
There's a
barracks
niche to be
guide for
filled.
Theron.
True. Proxy guide. Oh no. Oh no. But yes, that is available. So if you're curious about, if you're a Zerg player, if you want to know where it is safe to place your overlords or relatively safe, then do check out the tower guide, as that is quite visual. It is quite clear. There you go. It is available too. Just because sometimes in game, like some towers look like they might give some high ground and they don't. Like it's that unfortunately, sometimes visually it's not entirely clear as to what is safe and what isn't. I love how I was just quickly going through the Wolof guide and then I go to Winter Madness and there are 0 Overlord pillars. it's just lol, get wrecked. Beautiful. That's Winter Madness in a nutshell. Smurge, baby, smurge. But yeah, that's going to be available if you do wish. Meanwhile, when it comes to our next bit of news here, this is something that was revealed a couple of days ago. Pig released a video here showing off Maru playing against Clem on the EU ladder, and we were aware of this. We were aware that there were some Koreans that were laddering on EU. I wasn't necessarily sure as to why that was the case, but Rainer, or I should say, Pig reached out to Rainer, and Rainer did explain what has been going on. So Rainer, of course, is in South Korea, and something that I do want to make clear about this, because there was a little bit of confusion and misinformation in the comment section talking about this. For those who don't know, it is very, very common for pro players to use VPNs when competing and when laddering as well, just to reduce the latency, reduce the ping to the respective server to play with the least amount of ping as possible. Right? It is very, very common to use this whenever competing, whenever you have to play on the US Central server or US West server, US East server, or EU or Korea or Taiwan or Singapore, depending on what server you're going to play on. You do adjust your VPN to target that server and to get the best ping possible for that server. It is very, very common, if not mandatory, for pro players to use this, and very often they do use Mudfish or some other VPN services to achieve this. This is normal. This has been done for many years, since almost the beginning, I will say, once VPNs were being used initially many years ago. But this is different. This is I say different. Basically, what has been confirmed here is that a new VPN service came out that actually has a new routing path. Usually when you're in Korea and when you're routing to the European server, it goes through the Americas. It goes the long way around through the Americas all the way to Europe. That is standard, and that is what even VPNs do allow you to do as well. They do maybe give you a more efficient path, but it still does go in that direction. But I don't know when this occurred, but it was relatively recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. But a new VPN service was released that does allow you to actually path through Russia instead. So from Korea, instead of going all the way through the Americas, you go through the rest of Asia, you go through Russia in towards the European server that's around like France or Germany or in Western Europe. So it has a more direct path. Because of that, the ping is actually pretty decent. Because of that, the ping is at around 140 ping from Korea to the European server. That is insanely good, by the way. That is insane. Obviously, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but I mean, it's better than what I get to Korea, for example, from Australia, what I get to Taiwan from Australia. That's at around like 200 ping. So them playing at like 140 is very playable. Is very, very playable. So this is, again, a relatively new thing. I just want to initially clarify that VPNs have been a thing for a long time, and it's very common for players to use them, but it's a specific kind of like routing path that has recently opened up that does go through Eastern Europe, that does go through Asia, and have a more direct path to mainland Europe, to Western Europe itself, where the StarCraft server is held. So that is what is new, and that is what has recently kind of been revealed and is now accessible to pro players, and that is what they've been using to actually ladder on the European server. And that's a pretty big deal. That is going to allow for just better practice for everyone. Again, right now, because the ping traditionally has been so bad between Europe and Korea, Europeans would ladder on Europe, Koreans would ladder on Korea, and they would not intersect. This is one of the benefits of traveling to Korea, is to play on the Korean server. This is why players like Clem on an annual basis would travel to Korea to compete with the Koreans to play on the ladder, specifically to improve at certain matchups. just because there's more competition, just because there's a higher level of play in the Korean server. So that was often why, for those who don't know, in lead up to EWC, they rented an Airbnb, and Clem, Rainer, Trigger, Estrella, Future, like they all did travel to South Korea to be there, to compete, to practice, more importantly, in preparation for the Esports World Cup. So that is something that Clem has done, I think, 2 years in a row now. 2 years in a row. But again, now with this occurring, and now with ping being a little bit more viable here, it means that I guess what I should say, it means that now if you're out there, if you don't have the funds, if you don't have the money to travel, to rent out an Airbnb, to travel to Korea, or to travel to Europe from Korea, for example, but you wouldn't really do that. But now Europeans can ladder on Korea. Like, it goes both ways. Now, hey, you can actually ladder on Korea, or now Koreans now have incentive to ladder on Europe, and now you can get some better practice out there. Referring to those that aren't traveling, referring to like Showtime, referring to Max Packs, referring to basically all the top pro players. Now suddenly they have access to a wider player pool, and now they can receive some better practice on the ladder as well. So this is overall like a really good thing. Overall, it is a really positive thing. It also does help when it comes to actually competing. We're gonna have to do some testing, but it is possible that maybe Korea to Europe has better ping than Korea to like US East or US Central. True. I think US West is still better for Korea than EU, but yeah, I think US West is like still around like maybe 120 ping ish. So I think it's still slightly better on US West, but now playing on EU itself like is maybe a more viable option. Of course, if they're using the VPN, like that's the other caveat, right? It's like the player has to be able to use it, has to have it available, of course, and then they can maybe viably compete on EU. So yeah, it's a pretty big kind of like change that was revealed in recent times, and we'll see what it leads to. I mean, again, all things. I remember actually sort of was making a joke about that. This was last week. They were making a joke about how sort of was like they were joking about like, oh, sort of he moved to Korea, but now all the Koreans are laddering on the EU. It's like, no, not like this. But there was some jokes being made regarding that as well, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's some pretty big news, and does help quite a lot. Does help. Big shout out to Mudfish, by the way, so convenient. Yes, for sure. Big shout out to Mudfish. Big shout out. But yeah, so with that, it does lead to more games, does lead to a better ladder ecosystem, and yeah, we'll see what that leads to when it comes to the level of play improving, when it comes to how commonly Korean players are going to be laddering on EU, and vice versa as well. It is going to lead to more content, it's going to lead to more exciting streams for those that do ladder on stream, for sure. That's going to be another thing that is going to be available, and yeah, exciting things to come regarding this kind of new piece of tech that now players have at their disposal. It's really cool to hear. That leads us into Bellum Stara Zagora 2026. This is the best part about Bellum, by the way, is they are always so quick to announce, and they give you so much like of a heads up, like time to prepare, time to just book your flights, just schedule around their event as well. So big shout to Stara Zagora. They're probably the most organized tournament organizers out there, just because they give you so much leeway, so much of a lead up, and so much heads up of the main event itself. So for those who are curious, Stara Zagora, which has been now running for the past 2 years. It's been 2 years of Stara Zagora, now soon to be 3 years coming into 2026, is going to be on the 18th of May. 18th of May, here we go. That is the week of the 18th. Bear that in mind. It's not just one day, but it's the week of the 18th of May. Usually it does last around, I think, 5 days was the previous event. And tickets will soon be open. Here we go. So tickets will soon be open. Of course, there's a big offline event happening in Bulgaria. If you missed out, honestly, a lot of really nice content, a lot of really good matches have been played so far the past couple of years. Personally, what I love the most is that they do actually upload all the interviews and all the out-of-game content that they produce also on their YouTube as well. It's all on YouTube. It's all there. They do a lot more than just host a tournament, but they have a bunch of interviews. They have a bunch of little content pieces, a lot of fun content pieces as well, like playing some games for downtime, for ad breaks specifically. So they actually do a lot when it comes to the production side of things of Bellum. So really cool to hear that they've confirmed a third year, and also of course that StarCraft II is going to be a part of it, right? StarCraft II is going to be a part of Bellum Stara Zagora. I don't know if they're incorporating other games in that event as well. They might be, but we do know for certain that StarCraft is going to be a part of it. So StarCraft will be in Bulgaria, will be at Bellum Gens, will be in May the 18th, the week of the 18th. So really cool to hear, and a big shout out to all those working behind the scenes, like Exalted and all the others in regards to Bellum Gens. Big shout out. Big shout out. If only all tournaments could, give that much heads up. I mean, aye. Speaking of tournaments, and speaking of giving a bit of an announcement of a tournament to come, is HomeStory Cup. HomeStory Cup number 28. Revelation Retake will premiere January the 30th. Here we go. So the next HomeStory Cup is right around the corner. They have been having these themes from time to time. You can see here, it is going to be from the 30th to the... Wait, is it going to be a 3-day event, I guess? So 30th to the 1st of February. So it's going to be a 3-day event, I believe. No, 2 days. Hold on, I gotta look at the calendar. Yeah, 3 days. So 3 days of StarCraft over in Krefeld, Germany. They have an interesting theme, I will say. They've got like some neon going on. They've got like almost like a Vegas-y kind of like backdrop as well. I feel like they don't lean too heavily, and I feel like they should lean more heavily into the themes. Like I'm still very disappointed by like their Galactic Rumble theme, where they did like a quote unquote like kind of like WWE kind of like setting, but they didn't really lean too heavily into that either. Like I feel like they could do more. I think I feel like they could do a little bit more when it comes to having fun with the events. Like that's what HomeStory Cup is meant to be. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be like a wild ride. And yeah, I hope that they can embrace the chaos a little bit more than they have in recent times. I feel like HomeStory Cup has gotten a little bit too serious in recent years. We got to ease up. We gotta have more fun. Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy. So yeah, that's going to be coming up. That's going to be coming in towards the end of January. We don't have confirmation as to the players. I did see a tweet, I think, from Naruto, where he did state that that they only have a couple of confirmed players, but regardless of who's confirmed and who isn't, the event will take place. So again, now we have 2 events confirmed. Oh, I guess 3. We have RSL Revival StarCraft League, the offline event happening on the 13th and 14th of December. So we have an event in December in Korea. We have Bellum Gens in May, and we have in Krefeld, Germany, we have HomeStory Cup 28. So bam, we already have 3 offline events that are confirmed, that are upcoming over the next couple of months, coming into 2026. Oh boy, let us go. But yeah, there's the post regarding Bubba. Guiding Bubba. It says 13 out of 24 players already confirmed. Hey, so best of luck when it comes to the rest of the confirmed players, and I look forward to seeing another HomeStory Cup. And as always, we're probably going to be a part of it. It's like I think for the past 3, 4, 5 HomeStory Cups, like we've been the B stream, so we're probably going to be the B stream again. We'll step up. We'll be a part of it as always. It's usually a really big event, a really long event as well. It's very taxing. We'll do it, Pat. We'll do it. We'll be there. But yeah, that's it when it comes to the news this week. Again, a little bit light when it comes to news. Some big tournament announcements and some technical announcements as well, but nothing too major here. Not like last week when it came to the GLHF interview, the SoSo interview. Nothing as big, nothing as extravagant, as now it is time to dive into tournament results. Let's go. We do have our 3D Clan 2v2 Old School Cup the third. There's a lot of words there. What's it's SC Evo 2v2. Again, there's been plenty of 2v2 tournaments regarding a StarCraft Evolution, specifically from the CIS region. There have been many of them, and here comes another. When it comes to the duos and when it comes to the pairings, there are certain duos that we rate highly. GG Machine and Shameless, I would say, are the best 2v2 team in the CIS region, but that is specifically for StarCraft 2. For StarCraft Evolution, it's harder to call here. It is a little bit harder to call. In the end, Young Yakov and Milky Cow, they take down Rake and Mastavasya, they take down Mini Zerg and Sickness, they take down GG Machine and Shameless, and they take down Aesop and Art in the grand finals. Very impressive run there by Aesop. He has been impressing as of late, getting better results. It is still 2v2, so it's a different kind of format. But for them to defeat GG Machine and Shameless, that is a big win. Also for them to defeat Def Mars and Def Mars and Zardiant, they're also one of the bigger duos and one of the bigger teams in the CIS region. So impressive to see them both brought down by Art and Aesop. GG well played. In the end, Milkia and Young Yakov do claim the series 3-2, and they are this month's or this edition's 2v2 champions for StarCraft Evolution in the CIS region. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. They will claim the win here. This is maybe a setup for some future StarCraft Evolution content, of course, as we do have more SC EVO on the horizon. Up next, we had the 5.4K patch clash number 8. Patches has still been running tournaments featuring his mod. His mod is crazy, by the way. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of unique quirks to the mod as well. I do recommend it. Do recommend checking it out. It is definitely a breath of fresh air, but it is also very chaotic. It's very chaotic. There are just so many changes and so difficult to really embrace. And coming into it, it's just like all the other online tournaments. We have purely TNP. Where's the Zerg? Feels bad, man. Feels bad. To be fair, I remember interviewing Inexorable after one of the previous patch clashes, and he did say that Terran was feeling pretty good and pretty strong in the mod, and Zerg was a little bit weaker in the mod as well. So at least from his opinion, from his perspective, as he was excelling, and here he does excel as well. Inexorable takes down Hapsaya 2-1, takes down Patches, takes down Pig 2-1, and takes down Mixu 3-0 as well. Big win here for Inexorable. Congratulations. The Brazilian Terran player will win the event. Not the first, and most likely not the last. He's very active when it comes to the patch clash. GG. GG, well played. And again, I do recommend checking out the VODs of this event. We didn't cover it, but I believe it was covered by, I think Pig even streamed his POV and may have cast it after he got knocked out. So I do recommend checking that out. Again, it's really unique, it's really quirky, and definitely a lot of fun. If you're maybe a little bit tired of regular SC2, then the patch clash, they got you covered. They got you covered. That leads us into our amateur events this week. That leads us into the Amateur League Weekly. Do we have the Season 4 major event? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kura, this is the Invitational, correct? This is the end of season tournament?
I believe so.
Yeah, this is the end of season tournament. You can see we have a prize pool for the Initiate tournament. We have $40, 40 USD for first place, 25 for second, and 15 for third place. So this is what all these players have been playing towards. The regular weeklies give points for this, for the end of season finals. So here we have the end of the season. We have Saito. Saito takes down Krimpus initially 2-1, takes on Coral Viper 3-1, but does fall to Vrogmik in the finals 4-1. So Vrog does claim the win 4-1. Saito comes in second place, and Checo TV takes on Coral Viper 3-0, coming in third. Congratulations to Checo, Saito, and Vrog. They are the top three for the initiates. Meanwhile, we have the Veteran Edition. Okay, we have the Veteran Edition coming up next. Yeah. That is for Diamond 3 and Diamond 2. So here in this seasonal event, we have a lot of regulars. We have Pretty Fly, we have Sugarcoat the second, Balimko, Old Lady, Smite Steel, Tonsi, Bobson, and Lauren as well. In the end, Pretty Fly takes down Sugarcoat 2-1, takes down Balimko 3-2, and takes down Bobson 4-3. Went to the ace match in every single series. I think that shows the caliber of play and the level of play and how close they are in skill for Pretty Fly to win, but again, brought to the ace match every single time. It was non-easy run, non-easy performance. Fought his way hard to be the champion. GG. Congratulations to Pretty Fly. And shout out to Bobson for coming in second place, beating Smite Steel and beating Lauren. And shout out to Smite Steel for coming in third as well, getting a walkover over Balimko. GG. GG, well played. The prize pool here was a little bit greater with $80 for first place, 50 for second, and 30 for third. That leads us into the Prestige tournaments. This is for Diamond 1 to Masters 2. Here we go. See, here once again we have a lot of regulars. We have Medic Jr., we have Matrix, we have Hitich, we have Steez, we have Milka, we have Arez, we have Zigger, we have Steez, we have Milka, we have Battle Beast as well. So a lot of regulars here. In the end, Matrix takes down Medic Jr. 2-0, takes down Hitich 3-2, and takes down Milka 4-2 in the grand finals. Matrix, of course, being a Polish Protoss player and a player that we've seen many times in our tournaments. It comes in as one of the favorites and did have a back and forth at least. Went all the way to the ace match against Hitich and also did have a back and forth against Milka in those finals. So congratulations to Matrix in first place, Milka in second, and Hitich in third, as he does take down Steez in the third place match. Prize pool here was just like the previous one, was 80 for first, 50 for second, and 30 for third. That leads us into the M1 to GM end of season event. When it comes to players qualifying for this event, again, it was mainly just walkover wins initially, but this is when they do face off. We have Nickrat. Nickrat takes down Lilix 2-1 in the first round, takes down Sexy Fox 3-0, and takes down Xingming 4-1 in the grand finals. Strong showing there by Nickrat. I would have said that the biggest threats to Nickrat would have been Lelix and maybe Azura, but even then, Nickrat has some killer TVP, so was the heavy favorite. In the end, Inexorable did go down to Xingming early on, did go down to Azura, also did take down Azura in the process. So we have Nickrat in first place, Xingming in second, and we have Inexorable in third. Congratulations. Congratulations to our top 3 players for the GM edition. GG. GG. Once again, with a similar prize pool, we have 40 for first, 25 for second, and 15 for third. So congratulations to our top placing players, and I believe the new season will be beginning next week. So there we go. Fresh season, fresh points to make it to the end of season finals. Oh,
I do not know if it's beginning next week because there is still a yearly finals as well. And I know the brackets are already made for those series finals, but I don't know if they are happening over the course of December or if there are still more tournaments in December. So keep that in mind.
We'll see. We'll see if we have any more weeklies or if they just go into the end of year events. We shall see. As, trying to see if there's any news about that. Yeah, it's called the year-end grand finals. Okay, interesting. Looks like that's scheduled to be on the 8th of December. That's in 4 days. In 4 days' time, so they might just wrap up the year. We'll keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, we'll be heading into our regional events and show matches. Initially, we have the Insane Master Killers Champions 2025. Okay, you have my attention. Insane Master Killers, of course, is a Latin American team, an old school, I want to say Peruvian. I think they're a Peruvian team, if I remember correctly. But it looks like this is kind of like an in-house tournament that they're organizing. They are a pretty big team. They are a pretty big amateur team specifically. And yes. So it looks like a big in-house tournament here. We have 4 groups facing off. We have Group A with Shigure. We have Nalguz. We have Johannes. We have Red Fury in Group A. So we have 2 from Mexico, 1 from Peru, 1 from Bolivia, baby. Group B, we have Zions, Konopio. We have The Mike and Goketsu. Group C, we have Kevin, Nox, Pavipollo, and Checo. Group D, we have Galahad, Havertz, Letos, and Hewavent. Interesting lineups here. I was not aware that Zions had joined Insane Master Killers. From my recollection, he was on Unidos por el Vicio for a long time. Quickly double checking here, it looks like he joined. Oh, it looks like he left Unidos back in August. So it was a recent change, but he joined Insane Master Killers. I bring this up just because Zions is the clear favorite. There is a bit of a skill gap here. Zions, he is an ex-pro player. He's an ex-pro. He is a very strong Peruvian Protoss player. And there's a reason why he's the only notable player in this tournament. This the only player with a Wikipedia page. I think the biggest threats to Zions might be. I'm familiar with Havertz. I'm familiar with Galahad. I'm familiar with Checo. I'm familiar with those 3 players, but even then, like, I think at most they're masters. Like Zions, he's so basically, best of luck to everyone else. Because Zions is coming in, and he's coming in to claim his paycheck. So take care of everyone else, papi. Yeah. Look out, papi. Look out. Best of luck. Best of luck to all the other competitors, of course. It is a pretty big event with a decent prize pool. So it's really cool to see Insane Masters Killers running their own in-house tournaments. Best of luck. Best of luck to everyone involved. And really cool to see that their team is doing well. That they have like a decent roster size, I should say. Decent amount of players. Up next, we have the StarCraft II Finnish 15V Cup. Okay, so we have the 15th edition of the Finnish tournament. In years or in seasons past, we have seen players like Cero come in and cast. Speaking of Cero coming in, apparently Basilisk doubled the prize pool. Okay, Basilisk, they are sponsoring the event. They doubled the prize pool here, adding 500 euros, making it 1,000 euros here for the Finnish tournament. That is really cool to see. That's really cool to see. I wonder if that's Basilisk or that might just be Cero, like, stepping in. But regardless, it is really cool to see Basilisk supporting the local Finnish scene. When it comes to the Finnish community, like, they have their own players, of course, but a lot of the like legacy players have retired, right? like Welmu or Zhuge Liang as well. Like they've stepped away from competing professionally. Cyril, of course, he is one of the best Zerg players, or the best Zerg player in the world, of course. But Mixu, he's also been playing a little bit every now and then. He's maybe not the most active player nowadays. But really cool to see them foster the scene, foster talent, and hopefully incentivize more participation and incentivize growth and improvement amongst the other Finnish players. Really cool to see. Really cool to see. The group stage has already concluded, so Mixu did not come in first, but he's also off racing. Bear that in mind. Mixu is playing Terran. He is off racing. I feel like if he didn't off race, he would be the heavy favorite to win the entire tournament. So I do think he's off racing just to kind of level the playing field a little bit. And Luton comes out in first place. In Group A, Jutsu gets eliminated and Pete gets eliminated from Group B. All the others are seeded into the rest of the tournament. It is a massive, massive seeding stage to qualify for the final bracket. For the final playoff bracket. So really intense formats, a lot of games, a lot of matches. Whether or not Cyril casts, yet to be determined, but I'm sure he will. I'm sure, especially if Basilisk is sponsoring the event, I'm sure Cyril is going to be a part of the event in some way, shape, or form to help out his local scene, to help out his community. So really cool to see. Really cool to see. Best of luck to all the players. Who do we favor here? I mean, Mixu is still one of the favorites, even if he did go down to a Luton. So Mixu is going to be one to look out for. I mean, a Luton as well now. Lewis, there's a reason why they came out in the top of their groups. So best of luck to all those involved, and best of luck when it comes to the event itself. Really cool to see. Really cool to see them continuing to just run the events season after season, year after year. It has been a while. The previous event was back in 2024, end of 2024. So it's been a while. But really cool to see them running the event once again. And I hope that Cyril gets involved again. Hope he gets involved. That leads us into the Hungarian Pro Series Team League number 2, hosted by Nihed. Oh my god, okay. I wonder if he's going to take part in it, but it looks like the Hungarian players have gotten together here and have actually constructed their own Team League match. We have Team Banshee with PSZ as the captain, who may even just be one of the best players in the league. Nihed is playing, okay. So PSZ as a captain, we have Sephisto, we have Ibra, we know him. We have Many as one, Homie, and Seiko lead, constructing and forming Team Banshee. We have Team Dark Templar, we have Team Hybrid Reavers, we have Team Marine, and we have Team Mutalisk. Okay. Maybe not the most creative of team names, as I think they all just picked a unit to go for. Sure. But they've constructed their own team league, and the group stage did actually conclude. Okay. Oh my god. I'm curious as to the format here. It looks like best of... are these best of 2s or best of 3s? Hold on. Best of 2s. Okay. So it looks like it's WTL format, best of 2s, so they do face off against each other. Let me just double check. Yeah. Round robin WTL format. So out of the group stage, we had Team Banshee and Team Mutalisk eliminated. Team Banshee, they had PSZ. Yeah, they had PSZ here, but despite that, they did not make it through. Quickly double checking, I just want to see if they're actually competing. If the team captains are allowed to compete. So looking at Team Banshee, the answer is no. Yeah, PSC did not compete for his team. Quickly checking Team Hybrid Reavers, did Nihed compete? Team Hybrid Reavers. He did. he did step in, Bab. He did step in. Oh wait, no, so did PSC. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. So yeah. They also competed as well. But yeah, in the end, a couple of teams were eliminated. We do have our remaining teams seeded into the playoffs, and we're about to get that confirmation, of course. That is yet to really take part and take place, but I'm sure that's coming soon. And really cool to see that the Hungarian scene is coming together to run a team league like this. Really cool to see. Really cool to see them all coming together, hosting and organizing events of this caliber. So best of luck. I don't really know who to favor. Like, obviously, there are the head, like, team captains like PSC and Nihed and Freeman that are a little bit more known. Well, look, there's Milka. Milka's there as well. Do we notice anyone else? It's Milka, Freeman. Not too familiar with the others. But, yeah, regardless, really cool to see them coming together and hosting this event. Best of luck for the playoffs. That leads us into the EGB Zerg Cup #1. I feel like we've had also we had the qualifiers last time, right? We had the that's it. So the main event did actually take place. This was the if you recall, this was the controversial events that did have some interesting players make it through. But from Qualifier 1, we had Seamus and Ultramarine. From Qualifier 2, we had Ashbringer and Replicant. From Qualifier 3, we had UD Soldier and Phalanger. Coming into this event, my concern was that there was a big skill gap between the other players and Shameless. We had players like Wayne and Young Yakov and Nikrat who all took part in the first qualifier, who didn't take part in the second or third qualifier. So there are some big players in this region, but they're not here, right? They're not here to face off against Shameless. So Shameless, he did come out in first place, did drop a map to Ultramarine, which is impressive for Ultramarine, but he came out in first place. Phalanger in second, Ultramarine in third. We had UD Soldier in first in his group, followed by Replicant and Ashbringer. After the group stage, we seeded into the final standings. Shameless took down UD Soldier, coming out in first place, 2-0, takes him down 2-0, best of threes. A little bit odd. These are all best of threes, but Chambers still takes down UD Soldier, and we still have a little bit of time before the next matches, or I guess they haven't played yet? Question mark, or they just haven't been reported. True, it's possible. It's possible they just have not been reported yet. But Shameless is going to be our champion for the EGB Zerg Cup, and UD Soldier comes in second place. Again, when it comes to the overall standings, no real surprise there. As I mentioned before, some of the other top players didn't take part in the other qualifiers. The first qualifier had a crazy kind of format, a little bit disappointing, and GG. I mean, overall, I'm sure the games are good, but a bit of an odd format is what I will say. For the qualifiers and for the main event as well. It's a bit of an odd format. But GG. Congratulations to Shameless. That leads us into our next event. That leads us into the SC2 Friends Cup 2025 November. Okay. Not an event that I've heard of before, but apparently they have been organizing their events in the past couple of months.
We have actually went over this in the podcast before. This is
I remember we went over the... We went over it in October. I don't know if we went over it in August or July. That I don't know. But sure. So they have the November Cup. This is another event that is what looks to be a Chinese Invitational. Okay. So we had a decent lineup here. We had our round of 16. Coming into an Oriana forfeit. Feels bad, man. I'm such a big Oriana fan, and Oriana's just never there. So Fiddle feels bad, man. Oriana did forfeit. Jolo Loves takes down Stray 2-0, does fall to Miggy 3-2. That's a big win for Miggy, by the way. Very impressive. We then had, I believe that's Tsukino. Tsukino did fall to Millennium Fox, and Millennium Fox takes down Miggy 4-0. Millennium Fox does take the win. GG, well played. I would have favored Jollywa, to be honest, to win the entire event, but Miggy did cause the upset, and that did allow for Millennium Fox to claim the win. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Nanyu was here, right? That's Tsukino. Yeah, no Nanyu. No Nanyu. But GG will play. Congratulations, Millennium Fox. Millennium Fox is a very young player, and he's been getting some really good results over the past couple of months. I'm sure you would have noticed when it comes to the Sunrise Cups and other events like this, like Millennium Fox is a player that does stand out, especially amongst the Terrans. So it has been standing out quite a lot. Meanwhile, I believe we finally have our champions. We do. The grand finals that take place as we step into the Elpis Team League 2025 Full Code A. This is a Chinese team league where we had the Code A teams facing off against each other.
What about Sunrise Cup?
Didn't click. Hold on. We'll get there. I got too excited. We had Sunrise Cup 224, and that's Millennium Fox again. I recognize the characters. Millennium Fox takes down Sama, takes down Lingui, and does take down. Ooh, is that Nanyu? Hold on. Yeah, takes down Nanyu in the finals. Impressive. I typically favor Nanyu over Millennium. But no, Millennium Fox takes down Nanyu 3-1 in the finals and does claim the win. Very impressive. Hey, 2 wins in a row. He wins the Friend Cup and he wins Sunrise Cup as well. This is what I'm saying. Again, Millennium Fox, he has been standing out as one of the more, again, outstanding players. I still do place him below players like Potato, aka Young Zest, like players like Young Zest, like the SLT boys, right? Like Rewhite, Joe Loves, Young Zest, come to mind as Nanami Chiaki, true Nanami Chiaki, like the bigger, more known, established players, like those I still favor over Millennium Fox. But for me, like when it comes to the next generation of players, next wave, the wave that is like bubbling under the surface, that's where you have Millennium Fox, that's where you have Nanyu as well, that's where you have Tsukino. Like those players, those are the ones that have been like popping up from time to time, getting some big wins every now and then, and are waiting. They're waiting to like break out into the greater Chinese scene. So really impressive wins here from Millennium Fox. Very impressive. And now it leads us into the Elvis Team League at 2025 Fall Code A Edition. It's been a very long event. All season long, we've been going through the round robin group stage into the playoffs, and now we have our grand finals taking place. We had 4-Leaf Clover versus Starlight Twinkle. Again, this is the Code A Edition. This is where the more up-and-coming like semi-pros or more amateur players have been facing off, and it was a very clutch series here. We had a very intense back and forth. We had a 1-1 scoreline initially, followed by another 1-1 scoreline. We had Xingming and YF facing off 1-1 as Jesus. Wait, what? we had non-stop 1-1 scorelines that led all the way into the ace match. Everyone was just knocking each other out. Very close, very clutch finals. In the end, did go barely in favor of Starlight Twinkle Division 2. Starlight Twinkle 2, they do claim the win 5-4 over 4-Leaf Clover. Again, went all the way to Game 9, went all the way to the ace match. Very close, very clutch. Congratulations. Congratulations to Starlight Twinkle. Again, they're one of the stronger teams in China, and they do claim the win in the end. And we'll see if they can replicate that success in Code S. Here we go. We hop on over to Code S, as this is where the bigger teams do face off. Starlight Twinkle did come out in first place in the group stage, in the group stage standings, in the round robin stage, but now we had the grand finals. It was Starlight Twinkle versus Elpis Esports team, and we had a back and forth. We had Lemon takes down Rewhite 2-0. We had Young Zest, he 2-0s Lemon. We had Young Zest and his opponent take each other out 1-1. Is that Nanami? Yep, that's good. One of these days, we will have standardized names across the board. But that is Nanami Chiaki. They knock each other out 1-1, which means both teams have to field fresh players. Starlight Twinkle fields Jolly Loves. Elpis, they field Oriana, who was unavailable in the previous bracket, if you remember. But Oriana takes down Jolua 2-0. Big win there for Oriana. Then Young Zest gets revived. Young Zest takes down Oriana 2-0. And then we have the final revive on Lemon. Lemon gets revived. And in my eyes, Lemon, he is the strongest player in the league. I say that Young Zest 2-0'd him previously, but here Lemon 2-0's Young Zest to win it all for Elpis Team League. For Team Elpis. GG, well played. Congratulations to the Elpis team, to Lemon, to Nanami Chiaki, and to Oriana for claiming the win. Again, it was going to be real close between these two teams. We have Starlight Twinkle, which is basically the Protoss team. They got Rewhite, they got Young Zest, they got Triple H, they got Jollywa Loves as well. Triple H didn't take part in this, unfortunately, but I do rate Jollywa, Young Zest, and Rewhite above Triple H, to be fair. But they're a very, very strong team, and they went the distance here against Elpis. It came down to the wire. It came down to Lemon. GG, well played. Congratulations to Lemon. Congratulations to Elpis, as they are this season's Elpis Team League champions. The main sponsor of the event won the tournament. That's not us at all. But again, they've got the slightly stronger team, and again, they even had to fight their way from the semifinals as well. And again, it was still very close. I can see Starlight Twinkle taking it next time, maybe Elpis taking it the time after that. They do trade back and forth, and both just very strong teams in the Chinese region. Aye. Whew, that leads us into Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup 2025 monthly number 3. This event did conclude quite some time ago, but we did cover it ourselves here via replays on the channel. It was a big event. Kung Fu Cup, of course, has had many different iterations, sometimes weekly, sometimes invitationals. It's been running for many years at this point and has returned as a monthly. It was recently announced due to the return of the Chinese server. Part of that celebration was the return of Kung Fu Cup, and this month we had Rainer took down Gumiho 2-0, took down Showtime 3-2, Cure 4-0, and Hero 4-2 in the grand finals to win it all. GG well played. Bearing in mind that Raynor is in South Korea, so ping is minimal against the other Korean players. Showtime had a really strong showing, though. I will say that Showtime was looking very impressive, and Raynor only barely beat Showtime. That series almost went Showtime's way. Like that was so close, so close, so clutch. Showtime, I will say, had a really interesting approach to PvZ. He had a much more defensive, much safer approach, which I think is faring well in the current meta. Right now, ZVP is in flux, and we've seen a lot of aggressive Zerg play be very successful in Zerg versus Protoss, and the greedier defensive styles of last season are no longer effective. So Showtime has been taking a different approach. He's been very gateway heavy, very gateway heavy. He has been very adverse to taking too quickly into sky toss, staying on a more gateway heavy composition into a more robo heavy composition, and having a lot more success getting in towards a longer game state. So it's really cool to see Showtime just adjust here in the new meta, have a lot of success against Raynor. Barely didn't take the series, but again, it was very close. And I would say that Showtime was the biggest threat to Raynor. Yes, Hero also took a couple of games, but that was a much more chaotic series, and there was a lot more chaos just going on there instead. it was a wild best of 7, wild finals. Still very entertaining though, so I do recommend checking it out. Again, Raynor excelling here, as Raynor is one of the best Zerg players, or top 2 Zerg players in the world. Taking down Hero, Showtime, Cure, Gumiho. Big win here for Raynor. Congratulations. Congratulations, Papi. Aye. Big win for Raynor, as he's going to be this monthly champion, and I believe there's going to be another monthly coming into December. I don't think we have any confirmation yet, but keep your eyes out for that. If there is one, we'll do our best to try to cover it live. If not, just like this one, we'll cover it via replays. You know, one way or another, we will be covering it here on the channel. And a big shout to SC Boy for hosting and organizing the event. Big shout out. As that leads us into the OSC Masters Cup at number 150, Group D. Once again, this event is organized by Dave Tessa. Dave Tessa has been sponsoring the event, has been exclusively covering the event as well, and the group stage did conclude. We just wrapped up with Group D. Group D did wrap up. Coming into this, we had Geralt coming out in first place, Moja in second, and Jumi in third. Oh, Moja Sultan Jumi. Quickly double checking here, it looks like Moja was tied 1-1 with Jumi, and Jumi also tied with Thoxer as well, so not a clean record out of Jumi, so to come out in third place. But congratulations to Geralt, Moja, and Jumi for coming out of Group D. And now we have the playoff bracket seeded together. Okay, so again, it's a big event, big group stage into the playoff bracket. It is a $600 USD prize pool, and the bracket is as follows. In the upper bracket, we have Solar and Creator as our Zerg and Protoss representatives here in the upper bracket. We have Bjorn and Geralt in the upper bracket as well. So we have a pretty hefty top 4, and I would say that they are the 4 best players in the current event. But if you look at the lower bracket, we still have some heavy hitters here as well. We have Percival versus Baby Marine, Moja versus Cristiano, Ender versus Jumi, and Sebestus versus Nickracked. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I cannot wait to see Ender play. Like, Ender has been very inactive for so many years. He's been streaming a lot, but he has not been competing. So to see Ender do well in his group was surprising, and I want to see more of Ender. I'm excited to see how well he does. Likewise, Percival, he is also a heavy hitter. Fun fact, Percival, he barely did not come out in first place. He tied 1-1 with Bjorn in the group stage, so Percival is another big name that can make a deep run in this event. Upsets can happen, of course, as well. I would say that coming into this event, Solar has been very informed. Solar, he has been adjusting nicely to the latest patch, has been very aggressive in ZVP, and likewise has been looking very comfortable in ZVT as well. So I think I lean towards Solar, but at the same time, I can see Bjorn bringing him down as well. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be close between Solar and Bjorn, but best of luck to all the other players. Again, you know, I want to see Ender do well. I can see Percival popping off in the lower brackets. I can see Creator popping off as well. I haven't seen Creator play in a couple of weeks, so I'm still a little bit iffy about Creator's current form. I cannot say with confidence kind of how he's looking right now. So best of luck. Best of luck. Going to be some fun games. A lot of fun games. Again, that's all going to be covered by Dave Testa over on his channel. He does cover that event exclusively. Meanwhile, that leads us into the Platinum StarCraft II League November edition. Here we go. Unfortunately, this edition was not casted. Usually, they either reach out to us or Rotterdam or Dave Testa or Steadfast or Chicken Man. They usually reach out to another content creator or caster. They did not reach out to us for this month's event. We did cover like the past 3 months. We covered a lot of this. I think I think Rotterdam was meant to cast this, but something came up and he wasn't able to. So unfortunately, it didn't quite line up. And I don't think there was any coverage of it. So that is really unfortunate. I'm sure some really good games were played, and I would have loved to have seen it, of course, as well. In this event, we had Nickrak took down Art 2-0. Nickrak took down Shameless 3-1. Shameless beat Percival as well. Do not gloss over that. Again, Percival has been on fire as of late. So for Shameless to bring Percival down, that is a big win for Shameless. Nickrak takes down Shameless. Cristiano takes down Young Yako. Cristiano takes down Nickrak in the grand finals, as Cristiano does claim the win for this month's Platinum StarCraft League tournament. GG well played. Bearing in mind that this is an event that is run and organized by Platinum Heroes / Platinum Esports, by the Platinum Boys, and they are looking to run an end-of-year event. I don't think they've confirmed any dates or confirmed the format yet, but there are plans for having like a December end-of-year kind of wrap-up for their tournament series, so keep your eyes out for that. We may be a part of that as well. Big maybe on that one. We may be a part of it when it comes to broadcasting, when it comes to bringing it to you as well. So look out for some more Platinum StarCraft. And congratulations to Cristiano. Congratulations. That leads us into the Sparkling Tunic Cup. The Sparkling Tunic Cup STC 2025 November Finals. That was our event, Papi, our event. Coming into this event, Solar, he was going to be seeded into first place, but he was unavailable. If you remember, this event was clashing with the Wardy Korean Royale. We'll get into that. But this event was clashing with the Korean Season 4 Royale, Wardy's event. So Sola, he was competing in that. So he was unavailable to compete in our event, which was a bit of a shame. But we still had a hefty lineup of players. We had Nightmare, we had Young Yakov, we had Cristiano, Classic, Björn, Shameless, Skillless, Percival. We had a hefty lineup, and the impossible happened. I'm still in shock. But I don't know if you noticed. For fun, for drama, for excitement, we did actually pit Korea versus Europe in the first round. If you look at the quarterfinals, Nightmare versus Young Yakov, Cristiano versus Classic, Beyond versus Shameless, Skillless versus Percival, Korea versus Europe. And Korea lost every series. I mean, Papi, we have Classic is literally like top 2 protos in the world. He's top 2 in the world. He's top 2 with Hero. Like you do not get better than Hero in Classic. Beyond, he's one of the best Terran players in the world. You can argue that Beyond is like what, top 3 Terran in the world, like below Clem, maybe below Maru, but just there. Maybe like equivalent to Cure. But like Beyond, he's no slouch either. Percival, he is that young boy. He is that rising star. He's been improving so much this year. And Nightmare recently returning, so there's a little bit more, there's a little bit more ambiguity surrounding Nightmare and his current play, of course, but still a damn good player, and they all got knocked down early. Crazy, Papi, crazy. So shout out to Young Yakov, Cristiano, Shameless, and Nikita Skillless for knocking down their own respective Korean opponents. If you missed out, I do recommend the VOD. Because Europa, they went crazy, Papi, they went crazy. GG well played. In the semifinals, we had Young Yakov versus Cristiano. Very close, very clutch, very back and forth. That was an intense semifinals. I would even say that was a series of the tournaments. It was very close, very clutch. In the end, did barely go in favor of Young Yakov. He did advance onto the grand finals. Skillless takes down Shameless 3-0. A bit of a more one-sided PvP, I will say that. Still very intense, but a little bit more one-sided. And then we had a very short finals between Skillless and Young Yakov. A lot of all-ins. I will say that the semifinals of Yakov versus Cristiano was more entertaining than Yakov versus Skillless. Yakov versus Skillless, shorter games, more one-sided. Skills looking dominant. Skills looking very in form. And Nikita, he pops off, only dropping a single map to Percival in the first round. Otherwise, he does take everyone else down. Congratulations to Skillless. Shout out to Young Yakov for coming in second place, Cristiano and Shameless for coming in third and fourth respectively, and for beating their Korean opponents. Again, like Classic, Beyond, Percival, Nightmare, that they're heavy hitters. I expected at least some Koreans in the semis. I mean, I expected Classic to win the entire thing, to be honest. But no, got knocked out early. GG. Crazy, Papi, crazy. So shout out to Skill, shout out to Nikita. And again, this event, of course, is run by the people for the people. Patreon funds this event. So if you enjoyed something like the November finals of Tunic Cup, if you want more of this, then do consider supporting us on Patreon. As we do, of course, run this as a weekly tournament, and it leads into the monthly finals. And there should be a December finals as well, one final monthly finals coming in towards the end of the year. Oh boy. So best of luck, and hopefully we can get another similar lineup as well, because this was a hefty lineup, and maybe even Solar can play next time. Maybe. Hope so. Meanwhile, that leads us into the weeklies. That leads us into the Wardy TV Monday. Wardy TV Monday number 63 did take place. Did take place here this week. We did have, we were hyping up Solar previously, and Solar, we were discussing about his strengths coming into the Dave Testa OSC Masters Tournament. Here, Solar, not an easy run. He takes down Bjorn 2-0, he takes down Hero 2-0, he takes down Rainer 2-0, and takes down Clem 3-1 in the finals. That is a crazy performance here by Solar. He took down everyone. Like, you don't get a harder run than him. Hero and Rainer and Clem, the best of each race in this tournament. GG. And Bjorn, crazy, papi, crazy. So Solar takes down one of every race, papi. Clem, he himself did take down Ryung, took down Shin, took down Max in the semifinals, but again, a much more one-sided series in the grand finals. We'll be covering these events and this series later on in the week, so I don't know what transpired in the series specifically, but I look forward to finding out. Congratulations to Solar for claiming a big win here over Clem. Big win. GG. When it comes to the recent wins that Solar's had, it's mainly been in ZVP. Like, we've been seeing Solar take down Max or Hero, mainly Protoss opponents. So for him to come out on top against Clem means that much more, to be honest. Like, that's a much more impressive result than we have seen in weeks past. So really impressive play there by Solar. That leads us into Monday Night Weeklies number 32. Here this was that evening, of course, so the European Weekly with double elimination brackets. We had Clem. Clem takes down a Laser 2-0, Art 2-0, Creator 2-0, Hero 2-1, went all the way to the ace match. But Hero does bring down Hero. That led into the grand finals, where Max knocked Hero out in the best of one format. I mean, Hero beat Max in the upper brackets, then Max beat Hero in the lower brackets, so they do trade back and forth. And in the end, Clem did claim the win. Max won the best of 5, and then Clem won the rematch, the Revive series, 2-1 over Max. So congratulations to Clem. This time there was no Solar. There was no Solar to stand in his way. It was a lot more about Clem versus the Protoss, really, with Art, with Creator, with Hero, and with Max, and Clem looking a little bit more comfortable here in the ZVP matchup. It does come out on top. Congratulations to Clem. Does claim the win. When it comes to other results here, Nice 2-0'd Hero Marine, 2-0'd Big Gabe. That's a big win for Nice. Jesus. Remember, Nice, he's retired. Nice is a retired player, so for him to take down Gabe 2-0, that's a crazy win. That's crazy. Shameless, he tours Percival again. Oh my god. There's a bit of a rivalry starting between Shameless and Percival, but they face off again, and Shameless does claim the win. Any other notable results here? Shameless, he eliminated Creator. True, he did eliminate Creator from the tournament. But outside of that, nothing too major here. And again, congratulations to Clem. Shout out to Max for second place and Hero for third. Congratulations. That leads us into Pegasus Cup. Pegasus Cup is the more NA-focused weekly tournament. Here we did cover this event live, of course. We were focusing on the lower half of the bracket. Solar may have popped off against Clem, but here in Pegasus Cup, Bunny takes down Solar 2-1. Big win here for Bunny. If I would have known that Solar had just beaten Clem, I would have definitely tried to have covered those series. I think that was casted by Pig. I think Pig covered Solar versus Bunny. But congratulations to Bunny, does claim the win. Clem barely takes Bunny down 3-2. It was a very close series. We did cover the tail end of that match. That led into the finals with Clem having a much more dominant showing against Hero. No shame to Hero. Remember, Hero knocked out Max. He knocked out Max 3-1, but did fall to Clem in the finals. So Clem claiming his second win in this week. He won Monday Night Weekly, and he also won the Pegasus Cup as well. GG well played. Shout out to Clem. Again, a shout out to Protostegosaurus for running the event, for sponsoring the event, and also shout out to Pig for sponsoring and providing the prize money for the event as well. So shout out to Protostegosaurus and El Chanjito and Pig. That leads us into the Wardy TV Korean Royale. This I'm really curious about because, again, as we mentioned, this was the event that Solar did compete in. This event did clash with our monthly tournament, and we'll see if it was worth it here. Okay, so the playoffs. The playoffs took place over the weekend. We have Byeon. Byeon took down Kira 3-1, then fell to Nightmare. Yo, Nightmare popping off. Nightmare taking down Byeon 3-1 as well. I mean, hey, he is a bit of a dark horse. Classic took down Nightmare. Solar 3-0 Classic. I would say that's less of a surprise. Again, Solar's been excelling mainly against Protoss and ZVP. So Solar takes down Classic 3-0. That was not Classic's night. So remember, that was also the night that Classic did compete in our tournament and got knocked out early. Zaun took down Creator 3-1. Shin took down Zaun 3-2. Went all the way to the ace match. Shin took down Raynor 3-2 as well. Shin, if you remember, he was the player that knocked Raynor out of RSL. So Shin knocks Raynor out of RSL. Shin knocks Raynor out of the Korean Royale as well. Este Shin, calm down, baby. He's got Raynor's number. Hero takes down Shin 3-2, and Hero will get the win over Solar 4-1. Big win here for Hero, considering how good Solar's ZVP has been looking as of late. I'm very curious to see how those matches panned out. Again, check out the VODs over on Wardy's channel. Those are some, I'm sure, very exciting games, and yeah, it's definitely worth looking into for sure. Definitely is worth looking into. That's a big win here for Hero. Congratulations to Hero for claiming that win. That leads us into the Wardy TV 2025 qualifier. The qualifiers were taking place. We already had the first and second qualifier. I think we already had the bonus qualifier as well. But now we have the third and fourth qualifier. Okay, so top two do make it through. And who did we have? We had Euthermal beating Ryung. Okay, Euthermal beat Ryung 2-0. Euthermal, he beat Nickrak 2-1. I can see Euthermal making a video about this. Like, content is being made 100%. But Euthermal, he qualifies for Wardy's tournament. Very nicely done. Very impressive here for Mark to beat Ryung and to beat Nickrak in the qualifying match. Meanwhile, Scarlet popping off. Scarlet took down Nice, Scarlet took down Byeon, and Scarlet took down Creator as well. GG, well played. Not an easy run here. Scarlet took down some big Korean names here to qualify for the event. Scarlet looking in form. Again, Scarlet, we spoke about her return to play in the lead up to the NA events, in the lead up to Stellar Fest, and the lead up to the Chinese show match. But Scarlet has been playing again, and Scarlet has been looking very in form. Really cool to see. And that leads us into the main events. Hold on. Sorry, that led us into the fourth qualifier. My apologies. The fourth qualifier here, Raynor. Raynor takes down Geralt 2-0, takes down Bunny 2-0. Sorry, Raynor. Raynor, he does make it through into the main event. And then we have Nice. Oh, looks like there was a bit of a forfeit. Nice lost to Byeon, but looks like Byeon forfeited his match. When did this take place? This was December 4th. Oh, this was last night. Oh. Did this clash? I don't think this clash was something, but I guess something came up. I didn't think this clash schedules-wise with another event, but something came up there. So Byeon forfeited against Nice. I'm sure Nice is grateful because, hey, he beat Young Yakov. He beat Young Yakov to make it into the main event. A bit of a shame that Byeon won't be a part of Wardy's tournament, but really cool to see Nice popping off. Again, we were giving praise to Nice earlier in his previous performance, and here also beating Young Yakov. Crazy, right? He beat Gabe. Here he beats Young Yakov. Crazy play out of Nice, considering that he doesn't like play. He doesn't focus on competitive play anymore, right? Like, he's not a pro full-time player, not like he once was. So very impressive there by Nice. And now we have a confirmed player. So from the top, for Zerg, we have Shin, Solar, Rogue, Scarlet, and Raynor. So we have 5 Zerg players. We have 5 Terran with Byeon. Byeon, he was already. What is it with Wardy's qualifiers where he lets players that already qualified keep playing in the qualifiers? Like, what is happening? But Byeon, he already qualified through as well based on his previous performance. So Byeon, he already made it through. Clem, Percival, Cure, and Euthermal. And then for Protoss, we had Classic, Hero, Max, Showtime, Trigger, Nice, and Shameless. So we have our confirmed players. We have 11 slots available for invites. So Wardy, I'm sure, is going to be getting around to inviting, especially because the groups begin in 2 days. Uh, God damn it! So groups are in a couple of days, so we gotta start inviting soon and getting as many players as we can to fill out these groups and to fill out this brackets. By the time we hit next week, we should be able to wrap up and discuss the initial group stage. Then that leads into group stage 2, and then that leads into the championship bracket. It's going to be a very big event happening over on Wardy TV. It's going to be a huge online tournament. Who would you like to see invited here? Who are we missing? We have Clem. True. I would love to see Maru invited. It feels like Maru's been playing in more tournaments as of late, and Maru is more receptive towards playing in online tournaments. So I feel like if like Maru's a potential like invite there, or potentially would say yes to an invite to an event like this. Who else are we thinking for at least Terran? Thinking Maru, thinking Gumiho, thinking Percival. Percival, you already made it through. Bunny, true. I would want to see Bunny in this. I think Bunny's been doing really well. It would be nice to get a Bunny invite. When it comes to Zerg, we have Shin, we have Solar, Rogue, Scarlet, Raynor as well. Young Yakov was fighting hard in the qualifiers, and Young Yakov has been improving a lot, so I'd love to see Young Yakov invited. I think there's definitely he's definitely a worthwhile pick up there. He might invite like Lambo and some of the other Zerg players. For Protoss, I feel like we're spoiled for choice. We got Classic, Hero. We could be seeing Zaun join the fray here. We already have Shameless, Nice, and Trigger as well. So Zaun, Creator. I feel like there's a lot of options here for invites. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see who gets invited. 11 slots. That's a lot of slots, to be honest. That's a lot of slots for invites. Obviously, Cyril. I don't think Wardy typically invites Cyril. I don't think he's one that accepts tournaments like this. So in my mind, at least, Cyril's a maybe. It's a maybe. Whether he would accept that. That's why I brought up specifically that Maru's been playing a little bit more as of late. So he might be more receptive to an invite, but we'll see. We shall see. I think Warlord Tournament has invited players, so I hope Beyond will be playing. Oh, he was already invited, qualified. Yeah. I see you swap in the chat. It is not uncommon. We've brought this up in previous podcasts, but even if a player already qualified for an event, Wardy lets them play in the qualifier anyway, which is kind of weird, and it just bullies other players from making it through. And instead of Wardy just taking that qualifier spot to another person, he instead just makes it an invite spot instead. I think an example of that, if you look at the overall participants table, you can see the bonus qualifier, right? You can see the bonus qualifier. Top 2 qualify, but it's only one because Solar he was already qualified. Like Solar, he was already invited in. So in the end, the bonus qualifier that was meant to give 2 spots only gave 1 because Solar already made it. So he just took a spot from someone else. So that's definitely something that Wardy has to work on. He just lets anyone play in them, even if they don't need to. It's like, God damn it. That happened in the bonus qualifier. That happened in qualifier 4 with Beyond forfeiting as well.
I would say, in Solar's defense, I think bonus qualifier happened before he qualified. Because he qualified via the Korean Royal.
True. But then I would say that then that spot should go to whoever Solar beats instead of removing it completely. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's my criticism, is that it removes the qualifier, the slot there, the spot, instead of replacing it. For Zikuri's, Solar beat Nickrat to qualify in that qualifier. So would be nice if Nickrat gets invited. He probably will, to be fair. Este Nickrat. But yeah, that is going to be the upcoming event. Again, this is going to be lasting all month. I believe it's scheduled to conclude December 21st. So it's going to be a very long event. Very long, with Group Stage 1, Group Stage 2, and the Championship bracket as well. So best of luck. Best of luck to all the players. And we still yet to confirm the finalized invites. I'm sure we'll soon. We will soon. Definitely going to be looking forward to that. Meanwhile, that leads us into the final bit of news here. The final event, we brought it up earlier, actually. That is the RSL offline event. Revival StarCraft League is going to be the Revival StarCraft League offline tournament is going to be happening in 2 days, December 13th and December 14th. 2 days in December. It is coming up. Tickets are already available. It's going to be an offline event in Korea. We already have our confirmed players for day 2. That's going to be the playoff bracket. That's going to be Classic, Zaun, and Hero. 3 Protoss players are confirmed into the into the main event. That's going to be on the 14th of December, but on the 13th there's going to be an open qualifier, an offline open qualifier. So you have to be in Korea to compete. Reiner, of course, is in Korea, so Reiner's going to be taking part. And a Streamer Zone, they are flying their players over. We have Geralt, Jumi, Nightmare, and SOS. Streamer Zone, they're flying their team of players over to also compete in the qualifier, bearing in mind that I believe only the top player in the qualifier makes it into the main event. So it is crazy. Look at the open bracket stage. We already have confirmation. We have Maru, we have Byan, Ryung, Cure, Geralt, Shin, SOS, Solar, Rex, Creator, Nightmare, Reiner, Jumi, Trigger, and Percival. Jesus, a massive bracket here. Very high caliber players, of course. And coming into this, I mean, Maru's the big heavy hitter, right? Like, Maru, he's in form. I will say that Maru's been looking very lackluster this year. I would say he had a disappointing 2025 for the most part. But if you watched him in RSL, in the RSL Season 3 event, he was looking like a beast. Like, I love how he has adjusted his play. I've been very vocal about this. We've explained it, that throughout the year, like, the meta has led to some more stale gameplay out of Maru, playing a lot of mech, playing a lot of 8-Raxes, playing a lot of 2-base all-ins and TVP. That's how he won DreamHack Dallas, if you recall, for example. But it's been a little bit more stale, is what I will say. But if you watched him during the RSL qualifier, during RSL Season 3, we saw none of that, because the meta has gotten rid of that. The meta and the map pool, the patch, I should say, the meta has changed because of the patch, because of the map pool. Now we see a very different kind of type of TVP and TVZ. Now mech, especially battle mech, is less viable. 8-Raxes are less viable as well, which is what he used to rely upon. So no more 8-Raxes, no more battle mech the same way it used to be. And Mara's been a lot more aggressive and a lot more active. And his games were a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun during RSL. So he's going to be the one to beat coming into this event. Reiner's a good player, of course. Solar's on form. Solar's on fire. So Solar and Reiner, they definitely have some strong opportunities, some strong chances. I will say that the best chance to bring Maru down here is going to be TVT. I can see Cure beating him. If Cure can get past Shin, I can see Cure beating Maru. I mean, if you remember, Cure beat Maru during EWC. True. Did beat him during EWC. This year during Esports World Cup in the TVT. So I can see Cure, and I can see Ryung, and I can see Bunny. Again, I just realized they seeded Maru into the TVT portion of the bracket. If anyone's going to bring Maru down early on in this tournament, it's going to be a Terran player. So Bunny, Ryung, Cure, I think they have the best chance over all the other players to bring him down. I know that like Reiner is like a higher like named player, same with Solar as well. They've got a little bit more like accolades and hype behind them, but specifically in their head-to-head against Maru, like I think I would favor like Cure and Ryung for sure. So we'll see if Maru can be, if he can be stopped, early on. If not, I don't know if anyone can stop him, at least here in the open stage for sure. So best of luck to all the other players, of course. It is a brutal format. Again, only one qualifying spot. That's crazy. Only one qualifying spot. So they're all battling for one spot to make it into the grand final bracket to face off against Hero, Classic, and Zaun. Oh boy. Best of luck. Best of luck to all the players involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be very hype. We might be casting this as well. Depends if they allow for co-streaming, then we'll be there to co-stream. We will be there. Oh. Otherwise, that is going to be us wrapping up the events of the week. Again, a lot of open cups, a lot of tournaments. SC Evo is coming up next week. Bear that in mind. So there's going to be some more StarCraft Evolution around the corner. We're going to be casting some StarCraft Evolution tomorrow. That is going to be the next cast here on the channel, is some SC Evo. SC Evo is going to be in around 12 hours. In 12 hours time, we're going to be live with some StarCraft Evolution League number 16. So if you've been missing some SC Evo content, then we got you covered. We got you covered tomorrow in 12 hours with some StarCraft Evolution. Otherwise, over the weekend, we have KSL. We got the Korean StarCraft League, we got SDO, and we got STC as well. The first SEC of December, coming into the final monthly finals of the year, coming in towards the end of December. Look forward to it. Do look forward to it. So again, we have plenty of content coming up on the horizon. So do mark your calendars, set your alarms for the next set of casts. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. It helps us fund our tournaments. It helps us fund Tuna Cup alongside Duckling Open and Swan Open as well. It is all funded via Patreon. Thank you so much to all the current patrons that we have. We appreciate all of your support. Thank you, as it helps us grow the events, and of course it does benefit the players as well. Thank you. Thank you so much to all our patrons. If you yourself want to play in Tuna Cup and play in some of these other tournaments, like some StarCraft Illusion events, like the Wardy TV Monday, Monday Night Weekly, PondCast Cup, all these KSL that's over the weekend, then sign up list. We have the sign up list here available to you. So you have a countdown timer to the event. You have the challenge page. You have the Matcherino page. You have links to their Discord servers. Like you have all the links that you would need ahead of you. We didn't get to mention this, but Hatchery Cup apparently is this weekend. Oh my god. Hatchery Cup is also right around the corner. That is a relatively consistent event, more like a monthly nowadays, a little bit more like a monthly. But Hatchery Cup is going to be over the weekend as well. True. So a lot of content. Turtle Tussle is next week, so we can get some Turtle Tussle action going on. So plenty of content throughout the course of December. As always, So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the horizon. So check out that sign up list. Check us out on Patreon. Oh.
And let's not forget, I don't think there was like a proper announcement yet, but the 2v2 caps from Uthermal are coming back in January.
Yeah, you can actually see it there in the sign-up list. But yes, Uwu Thermal's 2v2 cups, the season is returning, partially also because, I mean, the new year is coming up, so that's on the horizon. But we just got a new 2v2 map pool, right? We just got a new team game map pool, so we have some of those new maps added into the fray. Obviously, the patch has changed the meta as well. So a new patch and new maps, a new season of 2v2 Uthermal. Let's go. Let us go. So that's also coming up. Still a ways away. True, still a ways away. That's going to be coming into 2026. That's going to be coming into January, but also on the horizon as well. And the signups are available on the sign-up list. Otherwise, big shout out to Kura for handling the production side of things. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up. If you want to follow us, you can do so on all the socials. We stream on YouTube, for example. We're live on YouTube. We have our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. Again, our next cast is going to be in 12 hours with some StarCraft Evolution. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Again, this is a weekly talk show. Every week we do have this wrap-up show going over all the results and any news that we have to discuss as well. So we're always here every single week. I say that I think we will be having most likely a week off coming into the Christmas holidays, but I will get there when we get there. It's all good. Well, outside of that, we'll be there for you. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys either in 12 hours for some StarCraft Evolution, or we'll see you over the weekend with a lot of content over the weekend as well, with KSL, SDO, and STC. See you then.